I looked at the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this was their first time at the theme park, right? Anthony Edwards was trying to get on every ride. He was trying to do everything. Like, nah. But you could see that, and I get it, and I understand it. Your first time there, the excitement, wanted to do everything, wanted to be in everything. I mean, he wanted to go into the parades. He wanted to do a little bit of everything. And it's hard to do that, especially in your first time being in this situation, being in this moment. And guess what? For a lot of people who've been to theme parks as a child, been there as an adult, or you've taken kids, what happens at the end of the day when you're a parent and you take the kids? What happens?
They are asleep.
They're asleep.
They're asleep in the stroller.
They are asleep. You can't even get out the park. They are
asleep.
They are knocked. I'm talking about knocked out.
You either carrying them or they are in the stroller with everything you bought that day.
Last night, Anthony Edwards, and we can hear a little Anthony Edwards here. He admitted it. I was tired. Like, I can't lie. I was tired. His first time there, he didn't realize it. Here's a little Anthony Edwards last night post game after the loss to the Mavericks.
We came out flat today. I mean, and then we found our energy, then we went back to being flat. So I think it was just on us. Everything was on us today. I didn't get downhill as much. Yeah, just stuff like that. We was just a little tired probably. I mean, y'all can see it. We was a step behind everybody, especially myself. Kyrie got a transition layup from, I think we scored, and he just outran me. And I was just exhausted, man. So, yeah, for sure. But we'll be all right.
He admitted he was tired.
Yo, he's 22 years old, man. You're not supposed to be tired. You can't be tired. Like, we need the same energy for Ant. I know we love him, and he's the new face of the league.
Correct.
That we have for Jason Tatum. Could you imagine if Jason Tatum had said this? Oh, my gosh, we were tired, and I was exhausted. And come on, dude. We love you, and you're the next superstar in this league.
Yeah.
Can't be tired.
Yeah, but
you can't go 6 for 16 in a home playoff game of the Eastern Conference Finals, man.
But you're mentioning Tatum. Tatum plays for the Boston Celtics. That's a little bit different. We know the legacy of the Celtics.
Same energy. You got to have the same energy for these guys. If we're going to bash a guy for Tatum's making excuses, everyone said, against Miami and Cleveland for the one game that they lost in those rounds. Same energy. Come on, man. We got to kill this guy today for saying this.
No, we don't. Because we hold the Celtics to a different.
They are the favorites in the series, and everyone thinks they're going to win the NBA championship now. And he's the next great face of the league. You're 22 years old. You can't say you're tired.
Well, Kirk Morrison, you were a professional athlete at 22. Did you ever get tired?
No, I'm not saying that he was. The results last night were because it was all on him being tired. My whole sentiment of what I've been saying is that this was his first time there. Like, he didn't know how to act. Like, I get it. He and this is a young player. And look, I love a lot of weekly. I like to listen to coaches' press conferences. And there are some coaches who will say, hey, we just interviewed Anthony Edwards, and he said, man, I was tired. And coach will say, yeah, that's probably how he may have thought. I don't say that he was tired. I think that he overexerted himself and tried to be more than what he was in his first ever Western Conference final matchup. That's what I'm trying to say, is that with Jason Tatum, I think it's a little bit different. There's a different standard that we hold the Boston Celtics to. It's a franchise who you can't say that. That's not what Boston people want to hear. This is Minnesota's, second time ever in franchise history in the Western Conference Finals? The analogy I always use is that you're climbing up that hill, and it's so fun when you're climbing, and all of a sudden you reach a point and you look down, and it's like, whoa, how did we get here? That's what I think with Anthony Edwards.
Nobody wants to hear a 22-year-old say that they're tired.
Yeah, because he tried to do too much. That's the point I'm trying to make, was that he said it right after the game in the conference semifinals. Right? There's an exuberance of why we love Anthony Edwards. We love him because he's unafraid. He's unapologetic. He's going to tell you how he feels. And after that game in the Western Conference semifinals, in beating the Nuggets in a Game 7, what was he like? Oh, yeah, we ready. And he's talking on emotion. And I can speak to this, that there are games in which you talk off emotion after it's over, after a big win. You feel invincible. You start to say anything. Oh, yeah, we ready. Bring them on. Bring Alabama on. Bring on Georgia. Bring the Yankees on. Bring the Dodgers on, right? And Anthony Edwards, yeah, I got Kyrie. Yeah, well, he got what he wanted. See, because his emotions after a big win were like, yes, I'm invincible. I got it. I feel this way. And Kyrie Irving, like I mentioned earlier, Uncle Drew sat back and said, oh, really, young fella? Okay, hey, you ain't been here before. See, I have. You haven't. I want you to listen to what Kyrie Irving said after the game. Here's Kyrie post-game, kind of what I'm talking about, having been there before and kind of laughing at the young Ant having his first opportunity in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, no, as a peer, man, I love that. I love it, man. It's nothing better. When Ant was a little bit younger, I'm sure he was watching me, and when he was in high school, I was watching him. So for me, it's more of those exciting matchups that I look forward to too. Right after the game, it was funny because he said it right then and there, and I think the whole world was looking like, okay, you better know what you're talking about, and I respect that, and that no fear mentality that he has is why I love him as a competitor and why I love him as a person. But when we're on that court, I know he's going to give his all. I'm going to give him my all. And at the end of the game, it's all love. And we're in between those lines. He knows what it is, and I know what it is.
And Uncle Drew had to let him know. Uncle Drew let him know. He sat back and just said, yeah, because you got to realize there's emotions that go into these bigger matchups. Always had a coach that would tell me, you know what's great about winning? When you win a game, it just makes the next one that much bigger. So you win game or the game 7 of a Western Conference semifinals, that means the next game is going to be bigger because now it means more.
Man.
It means more. And so for Anthony Edwards, is it a learning experience? Absolutely. I bet you this, he won't say that again because he kind of poked the bear. And Kyrie said, hey, I'm still that dude. I'm still that guy. Don't forget about it. I'm still the leading scorer of my team. Last night, Luka got a couple more points at the end, but it was Kyrie's start that allowed Luka to finish the way that he did.
I'm just saying, if you didn't watch the game and you heard the first 14 minutes of this program, you're going to sit there and think that Minnesota got blown out, which is not the case. We're talking about he was tired or poking the bear. The fact is, Karl-Anthony Towns gets called for basket interference or touching the ball in the cylinder, which was the quickest review in the history of anything that's ever been reviewed in sports. That was too close. I feel like you should have let that go. That would have tied the game at 104, and instead they called basket interference on something which you still never clearly saw if it was. I think you got to let that go. Maybe the game's different then. So I just feel like the way we're talking now, it lended itself to seem like, wow, they got dog walked, and they didn't. Yeah. Like, that was one call away. This could have been a different outcome to the game if that basket counts.
But see, I get it. The score was 108 to 105, and we'd say, wow, 3-point game. Your game was close. But if we watch that final stanza, that final 4 minutes of the game.
They were up 4 with like 2 minutes left.
Let's just be honest. I'm watching it, and I thought the T-Wolves didn't have enough. They settled for jump shots. I mean, Anthony Edwards kept talking about driving to the basket. He's always been driving.
He shot 12 threes last night.
Man, that dude was over there. He could have just put up a tent over there by half court because he was just standing out there. He had nothing left. He didn't. His game is about driving, slashing, getting to the paint, making shots that you're like, wow. He couldn't do that because he was tired last night. I thought Reggie Miller did a great job of pointing it out. Like, Anthony Edwards is tired. Like, we can't see it on television as much, but he's watching it. And he's not even trying to get down into the paint. He's calling for a screen. He's calling. Anthony's like, nah. Like, usually he's trying to get off and go one-on-one for a little bit, especially in those moments. He couldn't do it last night. And I thought it was because he was tired. He was in his first Western Conference final. And now he realizes, okay, I got to find ways to conserve my energy. I got to find ways I want to do it on both ends, defensively and offensively. But at the same time, I also got to figure it out that I can't do what I did in game 1. And I can't wait to get the fallout over in Minnesota and what they're thinking this morning after losing 108-105 to the Dallas Mavericks in Game 1.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.